Hey guys, welcome to your Wellness Wednesday. You're here with Chelsea Marie from chelseamariecoaching.com. For those of you who are new and don't know me, welcome. And as I mentioned, I'm Chelsea Marie. I'm a board certified health coach, and I specialize in helping men and women who want to not just lose weight, but ultimately feel amazing in their body and take control of their health. So if you are new, like I said, welcome. And if you have any questions, always feel free to post them down below. Hey Justin, thanks for joining. So today I want to share with you guys 4 tools that will help you to successfully accomplish your health and your fitness goals. So one thing I want to say before diving into these 4 tools is, number 1, congratulations for just even bringing awareness towards this goal. That is huge, especially with how much noise we are surrounded by every single day on social media, at work, and just how busy our lives are. Sometimes we don't always realize that there is something within us that is really craving and wanting to grow and wanting to change. So the fact that you came to this awareness that this is something that you want for yourself is huge. So don't forget to really just be proud of that to begin with. All right, so these 4 tips, as I mentioned, my intention is to basically share these with you guys. You can try one, you can try all. I highly recommend trying all of them, because at the end of the day, you don't know what it's going to do for you until you actually give it a full shot and implement it. So my first tool for you guys is to practice finishing what you start. I know I hear this all the time from so many clients, and I myself used to be really bad for this. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to practice something as simple as making your bed first thing in the morning. So you go to bed, you hopefully are having a restful sleep, and then first thing in the morning or when you get out of bed, you make your bed. And the reason for this is because you are closing off that cycle. You are finishing what you start. Over years and years and years of maybe starting projects, whether that's around the household, whether it's starting different fitness goals or financial goals or whatever it is, when we get into the habit of not finishing what we start, we're actually, for one, creating a habit that we, in the end, will not finish what we start. And we start to create a belief within our mind that we will not finish what we start. So when you practice something as simple as making your bed in the morning, or if you are, as an example, if you're having dinner and then, after having your meal, you wash your plate, you put it away, you are finishing the process. You are finishing what you start. I get this all the time. I get clients who get so motivated, so excited to start with their goal. And then after that motivation runs out, after about halfway through, they realize, they start to self-sabotage and they don't know why. And they start to realize that, their whole entire life, they've had this habit where they just don't finish what they start. So once you've created that belief and that habit, then you have now trained your mind. Like, why would you, at the end of the day, transforming your body, picking up any new habit is going to require change. It is going to require being uncomfortable. It means that you are going to be adapting your body. It's going to be a process. So why would you put yourself through this process if you have taught yourself that no matter what, you're not even going to finish it. You're not going to go through with it. So that is why every single day, whatever it is that you do, by putting into practice simply just finishing what you start is going to train you that no matter what goal that you set for yourself, whether it's financial, whether it's with your health or your fitness, you will know that because you carry this throughout your entire life with all your habits, you know that you will carry through with it. So that is tool number 1. Tool number 2 is to focus on your goal. I know this sounds super simple and so simple that it sounds stupid, but how on a scale from 1 to 10, how good can you really say that you are at focusing? So when we talk about focusing, let's talk about the mind. So your mind has a variety of different compartments. We have anger, we have jealousy, we have sex, we have our goals, our health, whatever it is. And then we have our awareness. So when we think about awareness, think about when you are having a conversation with someone and if you really want to take in what they're saying, you are giving that person your full awareness and you are focusing on what it is that they are saying. So this awareness is basically energy. It is you giving, it's energy within your mind. It's this vast ball of energy. And by choosing where you are going to focus that awareness in your mind, that area of your mind is going to amplify. It is going to be illuminated. So Sorry, it's windy out here. So if you are focusing your awareness on your health goals, then you will find that you are going to illuminate, you are going to amplify that area of your mind. So let's talk about focus. How can we actually start practicing, being better at focus? So when we think about meditation is an amazing tool to really help us to calm our mind and to really start focusing. So at first, it's a little bit hard because our mind has so many different things that we're thinking about. We really are practicing, stilling our mind, making it so that, all of our thoughts are essentially coming and going. So at first, it's a little bit hard because we have so many thoughts. And then eventually, as we start focusing on our breath, we get really, really, really good at just focusing on our breath. And then before we know it, every time we have a thought that comes to our mind, that thought, it comes and then we learn to let it go. And then before you know it, by meditation, you get really good at just focusing on nothing. So that part is great. Meditation is amazing for that. And it's amazing when we do it for that 20, 30, or 40 minutes of the day. But then how do we really bring that into practice for the rest of our day? Well, it's ideally the exact same thing. So instead of practicing, not to not practice meditation, but, instead of doing it for just 20 or 30 minutes of the day, practice focusing on every single thing that you do throughout the day. Whether it is having a conversation with your partner or your colleague or your client, practice giving them your full attention. The more you do this, the better you will get at just being able to practice focusing in general. And as I mentioned, the more at the end of the day, whatever you practice, you will get better at. That is the law of practice. So if you want to get really good at accomplishing your fitness goal or your health goal, the more focus you give it, the more it will grow and the more you will succeed at it. So, and like I said, this goes for everything. If you are driving in your car, focus giving, you're driving your full attention. Instead of looking at your phone, instead of texting, instead of being on, just being distracted, give whatever it is that you're doing your full attention. If you are eating, instead of being on your cell phone, instead of Googling things, focus on chewing your food. You will actually digest your food to your best ability the more you focus on it. You will assimilate and absorb your nutrients a whole lot better if you just focus on eating. So that is the whole point here, is when you can focus, if you can practice just really focusing your energy and your awareness on what it is that you want, whatever it is that you want will start to amplify and will become a lot better. So tool number 3 is you need to know your why. So as I mentioned, anytime we're creating a goal, we are changing who we are. Like, who you are now is not who you are going to be when you accomplish that goal. And if that were the case, you would already have what you wanted. So it is important to know why you want what you want, because it is going to mean stretching outside your comfort zone. And every single day, some days it might feel a bit more challenging, but when you know why you're doing it, it's a difference between night and day. If you have this wedding that you're going to or a vacation and you really, really, really want to lose 15 pounds, you want to feel confident in your body, you've got this date set on the wall, chances are it's going to be so much easier for you to really stay focused with your goal. But if you're doing it just because you're like, whatever, I feel like it, then chances are, every single day when time's getting a little bit more challenging, it's going to be harder for you to stick with it. One more thing I want to talk about when it comes to focus, I actually forgot to mention, was I do what's called a discovery call. And this is where my client or my potential client, we get to chat about their health goals, really learn to see if we are a good fit for one another. And one question I get all the time is, well, what happens if my husband comes home and he brings home the junk food, or when I go to the grocery store, all the junk is surrounding me? How do I ignore that? Well, that's where focus comes in. When you start practicing focus, you get really good at not being distracted. So if you think about, at the end of the day, you're always going to have distractions around you regardless. There's no way. So if you, as an example, go ahead. If you are, oh my God, I'm getting distracted here. So if you, as an example, sure, it's easy if you were to isolate yourself and not have anyone around you. Sure, it would be a lot easier to accomplish your goal. But then what happens when you bring yourself back into reality and then all those distractions are around you again? It's not going to really serve you any purpose. So when you can start really practicing focusing your awareness on what your goal is, no matter how often your partner comes home with junk food or your kids do, or when you're at the grocery store, you will have practiced focusing your awareness on what really matters matters to you. And that's where knowing your why really comes into play as well. You know, when you're at the grocery store, you're always going to see a bag of chips. You're always going to see a brownie or a muffin. And it's up to you to have that conversation with yourself. When you know your why, it's so much easier to talk to yourself and have that conversation and to say, okay, you know what? I know it tastes delicious, but at the end of the day, what I'm doing right now is more important to me, and I can have it, you know, a month from now or a week from now. Or let's say you go out for a friend's birthday and it's an Italian place and you have some pizza or some pasta, and you know that you don't do well with pizza or pasta, but you're like, you know what the heck? It's a one in a lifetime kind of thing. I don't do it very often. Sure, you enjoy it. You know, it's a great, you know, you get to enjoy it. It's awesome. But then the next day you're like, well, maybe I want pasta again. Maybe I want pizza again. Well, at that point, it's like, okay, there was a purpose the night before because it was a celebration, but really, what is that really? Is that just a new habit that you're kind of getting back into? Or is it really, you know, how is that really going to affect you? So when you know your why, and it makes it so much easier to really have that conversation to decide, okay, is this something that is really worth my health? Is this something that is really, you know, is it going to affect my energy? Is it going to affect my sleep? You can really just have that conversation with yourself. So once again, to kind of recap all three of these tools, we have practice finishing what you start. Because at the end of the day, if you don't practice finishing what you start, you are going to train yourself to not finish your goals. And once you have that belief in your mind, you are going to find ways to self-sabotage. And then once you really just start practicing once you put it into practice, finishing what you start, you will have trained your mind, and you will know that no matter what goal you start, no matter how long it takes, you are a finisher. So you will have confidence in your own ability to follow through with that goal. And then tool number 2 is to practice focusing. And then number 3 is to know your why. So you understand why you are doing what you're doing every single day. Because as I mentioned, you know, some days it's going to be easy. Some days it might feel a bit more like a struggle. But when you understand why you're doing it, it gives you purpose. And when you have purpose, you enjoy it a whole lot more. It doesn't feel like a struggle. It feels more like ease. And then it's a part of, you know, transitioning into who you need to be in that time of that journey. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you guys got some good tips from this. Let me know down below what you got from this, or if you have any tools that have really worked for you. Anyways, you guys have an amazing day. If you do have a goal right now, if you want to get healthy, if you want to just feel healthy but also feel fit in your body, and you are wanting to support, I would be more than happy to help you. So for those of you who don't know, I provide my clients with personalized meal plans based on their blood work, not their blood types, but their blood levels. So this means that we are checking your red blood cells, your white blood cells, your C-reactive protein, which is your inflammatory marks. So you have a food plan that is 100% tailored to you. This is going to help to reduce the inflammation, balance your hormones, and just really reset your metabolism and get everything back on track. So if that is your goal, then I would be more than happy to hop on a call with you to hear more about your goals, to really dive into what is maybe getting in the way, and then how we can move forward and get you on track with just feeling healthy and feeling fit and confident in your body again. Anyways, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.